I start? Okay, this is Philosophy 4. My name is Dr. Hammerud, or you can just call me Richard when you talk to me in email, whatever. Today I'm going to, this is our first video, so I'm going to keep it very short, maybe like 10 or 12 minutes. And I'm going to talk just a brief introduction to Chapter 1, which you should be reading this week. Your first assignment is due next Monday. And it's all on the syllabus in the Canvas. Okay, so I want to talk a little. This is what I'm going to talk about today is from Chapter 1 of Critical Thinking. I'm going to talk about argument, what an argument is, how to distinguish an argument from an explanation. Critical thinking basically deals with all the things that are involved with understanding arguments, with evaluating arguments, with making sense of arguments, with the different types of ways arguments could go wrong. So, and the ways they can go right. So today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to arguments. An argument is made of two parts. This is the most important thing about arguments. Premises, the first part is premises, and the second part is a conclusion. So the premises are reasons that you offer to believe that something is true. So I can make a diagram, and your book will do this, so I'll do it here. If you could, hopefully you could see this. 1, and I have an arrow coming down to 2. Okay, so that's going to be a diagram of an argument. And what this means is that you don't know what number 1 and what 2 mean. I'll tell you what. I'll give them some content. Basically, when you diagram an argument, this means that statement 1 is the conclusion because it's at the bottom. The premises go at the top. So let's say I say statement 1 will mean it will rain today. It will rain today. And let's say statement 2, these stand for statements, because the weather report said so. Okay, that is an argument. And it's an argument because it has a conclusion. It will rain today. The conclusion is what you're trying to prove or demonstrate. And the reason is because the weather report said so. The conclusion goes at the bottom, the premise at the top. So arguments are always an attempt to prove that something is the case. Arguments are different from explanations, and this is basically the main point I want to make in this little video that I'm doing right now. Arguments are different from explanations. Arguments try to show that something is true, and explanations do not try to show that something is true. What they do is they tell you that something is true, and then they tell you why it is true. So let's say I'll put 1 here. This is going to look like an argument, but it's not going to be. So let's say I will say it rained today. So it already rained. It rained today because there were dark clouds in the sky. There were rain clouds in the sky. Okay. Now it looks like an explanation because it's very similar to this one. They both have the word because, and they're both about the rain. But this one here is not an argument because here I'm saying it rained today. I'm telling you it rained. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm telling you it rained today because there are rain clouds in the sky. So this is an explanation because I'm not trying to prove. I'm telling you it rained today. I'm not trying to prove it. This is an argument. Okay, so that's the main point I want to get across today. You'll read about this in Chapter 1 of Critical Thinking, the book Critical Thinking. So, and then also I should show one more thing. Every argument has an issue. For every argument, there's an issue involved. So let me tell you about how to determine what the issue is. The way to find out, this is an argument here. This is not, so I'll forget this. every argument has an issue. The way you figure out what the issue of an argument is you identify the conclusion, it will rain today, and just turn it into a question. So the issue is, will it rain today? Or you could say, whether it will rain today. Okay, the same thing. Whether the issue is whether it will rain today or will it rain today. So every argument is composed of two parts: the premises, and this one only has one premise, and a conclusion. If you're going to diagram it, you put the conclusion, you number the sentences, okay? And you put the conclusion at the bottom, the premise at the top, and then the issue. For example, if you want to identify the issue, just look at the conclusion and then turn the conclusion into a question. That's all I'm going to say today because I want to keep it short. So I'll be posting lectures throughout the week. Thank you.